Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today you join me at Rye House Kart Circuit, and well, it's a track I know pretty well, and it's a track I might be racing at next year in the Rotax. But today I'm here in the KZ. If you know Rye House, you know it's very twisty and not physical track, but when you're doing 50 gear changes a lap, it does get quite physical. So we're going to be taking it out today and see what happens. Obviously the barriers are really close, so we don't want to try and write off the kart, because it's an expensive car, so we're trying not to do that. But it's currently sunny, to be honest, and just our last drive in KZ for till the end of the year, as it's currently the 15th of December. We're going to do some different things as well, but we're going to be driving the KZ today, so let's get into it. So these are typical karts that they race here at Rye House, with about 8 to 15 horsepower. So obviously not much power. However, obviously this is my KZ and we got about 52 horsepower. Right, so as usual with the KZ, we're already running to the shop to get the stud. Let's see what Aaron's got in store for us at Car Shop London. Hopefully we can get out, because we've already got issues. We've not even been on track yet. What you got for us, Aaron?
I think we've actually got a wheel stud in. There's a magnesium one as well.
Oh yeah, perfect. Take 3 of them. Good boy.
1 minute.
Thank you, boy. See you in a bit, yeah? Right, so we got 3, as you see. And now let's fit them onto the car. So with the rear hub, well, sorted for now, as you're going to see later on, it will cause us a couple of issues. But for now, we are going to go out. But as you can see, we are on the slick tyres. Now, you're going to see the track is quite dark, which is not the new surface that they fitted here at Rye House, but it is the wet ground and the damp track, as we're on slicks with a 50 horsepower kart. So we're going to go around Stadium Corner for the first time in the KZ. And what you're going to see here, we're going to oversteer. Well, I'm going to understeer, sorry. I'm going to go straight on into a muddy puddle. After hours of cleaning the car, we're going to go about 30 seconds later and absolutely destroy it and cover it in mud. But it's no big deal until we do this embarrassing moment. Well, we've already done an embarrassing moment. Just to make it a bit more embarrassing, we're going to pull ourselves out of it, push it into first gear, and you're going to see we're just wheel spinning like mental. So we've got to jump out again and pull it just a little bit further, so I'm back on the track. Don't know why I just didn't do that in the first place, but it is what it is. But now we can really try and start warming up the tyres properly, and then see if we got any grip in this first session on slicks on a damp Rye House Kart Circuit. So fast forward a bit and we're coming down the Rye House straight into Stadium Corner, and you're going to see it's still absolutely soaking, and we're going to take that nice wet line and you're going to see us almost go off into the wall, which was too close for comfort, but we did carry on, thankfully. But you can really see that the wet tyres are, well, the slick tyres I should say, really aren't working on this wet track. And as you can see, even the Rotaxes are catching me up, because with the KZ, because I've got so much power out of every corner, I just, I'm wheel spinning like crazy. Now unfortunately you can't hear me because for some reason the GoPro was playing up. Did work later in the day, but I have decided to pit this lap because I felt it's a bit pointless when I'm slower than even any of the Rotaxes out here. So I did pit, and we made the choice to go onto the wet tyres for the next about 3 or 4 sessions until it was dry enough for the KZ. Because although the Rotaxes could really get away with the slick tyres, with the KZ being front braked and everything, if you brake, you're going to lock up. So we didn't want that to happen, because otherwise I'd be going straight into the wall and we'll be ordering a new Kart Republic frame off Argenti. So roll on to session 2.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide.
So with the wet tyres now on and the marshal giving this sign to go out, we can now see what it was properly like after that horrible and embarrassing session 1. We can really show how fast and how much of a beast this KZ2 kart really is, as obviously we're doing our first proper laps because, well, we've never been on a dry version of this before in a KZ. So we're going to see, just learn things, and as you can see, the track is dry in some places. You're going to see the lighter patches of the track, and that is the drier patches of the track. So you can really see where, see, like here, it's really soaking, and it's somewhere where you just wheel spin and you'd lock up and you go straight on into a wall like that. So we don't want to do that, especially not on a test day like this at a track which is irrelevant for us. But as you can see through it again, the track sort of almost in this bluey patch, like patchy. It means it's sort of just wet, and as you can see all through here, you can sort of see little dry lines developing, especially as you come round through into hairpin 2 here. You can see it's sort of lighter grey through here as the sun is shining down and it's drying on it. But we're really finding how challenging it is. Looking out how many gear changes we're making. Now I do apologise again, camera still isn't working right. Should be investing in a new camera for next time we're out, as this one's microphone is playing up. It does work later on in the day. Please don't click off because it's boring. Trust me, it will work in a couple sessions time. But again, as you can see, we're gripping to the track nicely. We've left all the Rotax karts for dead. We've left Bradley Keating on his senior Rotax debut for dead, the second place in the championship here in junior Rotax. So we're really fast. Obviously, we're in a kart with double the horsepower to them. Well, just under. And you can see how much pace we got, and we're going to come across our first victim as he's going to get lapped. He's got the same suit as me as well, and we're going to go down the straight, and you're going to see how much faster we are as we just fly past into stadium, still taking it a bit careful because again, we don't want to write off this whole kart for a test day at Rye House. And you're going to see, just really, it shows how much of an art form KZ really is, and you're going to see that much better with all the sound and the noise of the 50 gear changes a lap later on in the day. But not much really happened for this session. You're going to see us pass more Rotaxes as you come around this penultimate corner, and you're going to see a Rotax just in the distance, and hopefully we're going to pass him in the next couple corners. So as an experienced race winner around this track myself, we're going to go and take my old wet lines from the back of my brain, just remembering how to drive a Rotax around here. And it is going to work on the KZ. We're going to go down the inside of our second Rotax victim, and in front you're going to see a lovely pack of 3 new fresh victims that we're going to take in our beastly KZ. So again, as I was saying, I'm quite an experienced driver around here, if I do say so myself, having led from the front, well, I've made some mistakes. I've definitely, as you've seen before in an iconic video, I've lost it right at this point here down the straight. But I've led the London Cup. I've won round here. I've been many times on the podium, but I haven't driven it a lot. But I've just been quite good at track. I've learned it quite well. As you're going to see, we're catching up mega on these 3 in their Rotaxes now. Again, we'll be racing on a Rotax like these lot in front in a couple of months' time for the NKC round 1 at Forest Edge in, I believe, April. So we'll see what we can do there. GoPros are allowed, so that'll be an entertaining one. So make sure you like and subscribe. As we're going to go down round the outside, then we're going to look down the inside. Not enough room, so we're going to go DRS down the straight, tuck in behind him, pull out, and we're going to drop down a couple of gears, and we're going to take our lovely wet line. As again, it is still soaking the track. For some reason, the track, I mean, like I said, I've been very experienced around here. I've been here not overly a lot, but I've been here in the mornings when it's wet like this, and it's just damp, and it's annoying because there is a river that runs alongside it. It's not the River Thames, although we are very close to London, just outside of London in Hertfordshire, near Cheshunt, Broxbourne, places like that. But there is a river that runs just across it, as this road taxi is going to pull to the left. Now, again, I'm not too sure on their names, which is why I'm just calling them road taxis. And that is our 5th victim of this session. So we're going to go past him, and now we're going to pull away again. But not much more really happened for this session. Now, the one we did lap at the start did come around again. I believe he was quite inexperienced, or just not to race pace yet, as we're going to go down the inside of him. And again, there was more in front. So, as you can see, we redeemed ourselves for our embarrassing little off in session 1, which did embarrass us a bit, but it's okay. So we're going to carry on again. Just look how fast we are through these S's section. Well, you've never seen one as fast as that. I'm trying to get an onboard picture, a video I should say, of me in a road tax through there in the dry, and you're going to see how much quicker we are, even in these horrible wet conditions. But not much more really happened, so